morning. Thank you for keeping it Citizen Television this particular morning. It is Tuesday and you're just in time for our social space, our social hour. We get into discussions regarding matters, relationship, friendships, and just improving your own personality. And this Tuesday, we want to talk about some secrets that we have been keeping. Yeah? That's just a little teaser anyway, but we are going to be talking about secrets in relationships. And we want you to be part of this particular program. And the question we are asking you this morning, have you ever been in a relationship and, you had those things that you cannot say because you want to protect the relationship? So the question we are asking you this morning, should couples keep some secrets to protect the relationship? Should couples keep some secrets to protect the relationship? So 22422 is the SMS line at Citizen TV Kenya, at Safina_Ching, also on X, at QT Ledin Josh, at Roberta Bobby. Find us there and you can be able to share your comments with us. We'll be sampling some of them as we continue. And the ladies I've just mentioned are in studio with me this morning to talk about their secrets. Roberta, good to see you.
I'm happy to be here today. Hii debate tushaanza huko kwa makeup room. So
kuendelesha tu penye tuliachia. I hope tutarika pia some things we said there. Yeah? And QT?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mnakaa poa kama kawaida?
Sisi tunakaa vizuri na umeamua leo ni animal print huko tuambia, but
sikuwapea memo.
I was almost catching up with you, but
seriously.
Unaona nimejaribu.
Umejaribu.
Animal print.
Hata yako ni print. But niko fiti. Shout out to my dad as usual. Anasikizaga Mr. Josh, always tuned in.
Hey. So Mr. Josh leo atasikia zile sirume kwa.
Yausikia kila kitu. Yausikia ashanizoea venye niko tu.
All right, so ladies, we want to look at this in both ways. Couples who are in a committed relationship, like in the context of marriage, na wale wenye wako kwa relationship wenye wajaoana, but it's a committed relationship. And then there are those who are just starting out, bado wajui, they have not defined what's going on, bado wanajuana. But the main issue is, should couples keep secrets in a relationship? Roberta, are you keeping any secrets? Actually, are you keeping any secrets?
Are you in a relationship? Which one? Because there have been developments.
The last time we talked.
Yes.
Okay.
Lakini kwa swali umeniuliza, hiyo ni swali si ngumu, lakini nataka kukua politically correct. If you want the real answer, follow me on Instagram. If you want my real answer, follow me. Nimewaambia huko. Follow me on Instagram. Lakini what I'm going to say is, I think healthy relationships are very easy. Something that I'm learning in real time. Healthy relationships are very easy. I know we say, oh, marriage is hard, relationships are hard, what is hard, but it's like going to work. It's like going to the gym. It's like when you enter something, it has its challenges. Something that's risky always has its challenges. Even starting a new business, starting anything new that nobody is ever used to change. Nobody is ever used to something new because you've never really experienced it. So, but something I'm realizing is if you want to do it, if you want to put your heart in it, your mind in it, it might be difficult, but not difficult enough for you not to pull through with it. Because kama ni ngumu sana to the point that hautaki commit, then maybe you shouldn't, you're not that ready for it. So something I'm learning in real time is, when you want to do something, when you apply yourself and you say, I'm doing this, I'm getting into this relationship because I want to make it work, it becomes easier. So hata hizi maswali kama za, do you keep secrets? Do you hide things from your partner? Do you nini? There's discussions that are easier to be had. There's things that you'll just find zikitoka, hata bila wewe ku think about it too much. And I always say, if you're ever in a situation where you feel like you can't be yourself 100%, then you need to start asking questions. What is it about this other person that makes me feel like I need to hold back? That makes me feel I can't be honest with them. I can't tell them everything. It could be a white lie. It could be the stupidest, silliest little thing that maybe you didn't think it matters as much. But then again, like I'm saying, if you're in a relationship and you want it, vitu kaizo slip out. Zinatokanga tu unajipatanga umesema. So I think while I think that secrets do exist within relationships. I feel like when you're in a healthy relationship, kuna vitu tu
becomes easier.
They should be easier. Like you shouldn't
yeah.
feel like you need to hold back or you can't completely be your friends.
Right.
And I don't say just in a relationship, even in friendships. Hata sisi hapa venye tumekaa, kuna vitu hatuwezi ambiana maybe, na kuna vitu ziutoka. Si share vitu mob sana openly about even things we've never even maybe told other people. And we say them here when we're having our two discussions after the show. But you see, the reason for that is because venye tunaji-express in our relationships, venye tunaji-express in our friendships. Na kama kuna kitu yenye uwezi niambia, I wouldn't really take it as you're being a horrible friend. Maybe we're just not there yet. Ama we're not... when hatujafika hapo place yenye tunaweza, but maybe tukiendelea tukigo closer it will get there.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for being politically correct. Now let me come to the real list, to the real issues, yeah? You know?
Atatuambia. Ametuacha hanging sana, si poa.
No, we want to know. We are part of this.
Woni hata vile anakaa, woni ana glow.
We are part of that journey. Cutie ebu tuambie. You know, history ya ku keep secrets na kuto keep secrets. Should couples keep
secrets? So kuna privacy na kuna secrets. If I'm getting into a relationship, I don't really have to, let me put this, I don't have to expose myself 100%. You don't need to know everything about me 100%. There are things I might have done in my past and I feel like they're not going to affect this relationship. Yes, but if I feel like they're going to affect this relationship, I should be able to say, for example, if I have a gambling problem, if I have an addiction, I need to be able to tell my partner that I have an addiction. Yes, I know iko na shame, inakuja na stigma, but if I feel that this one thing is going to affect my relationship, then I should share. But kama na feel, hii hapana, hii si lazima jue too much information, TMI. Mbona ni mshow? As in, why am I telling them?
Two shall become one.
Why am I laying my life bare?
You two are now one.
Why am I laying my life bare for someone? Let me tell you, Safin. Ni kama...
Kisije yako wapi? Because
you need too much information, Safin.
Yes, as you continue. How will you hide things about your past yet as you...
I'm not hiding.
They want to know so that wanafanya ile kitu inaitwa groundwork.
That's why nimesema kuna vitu private na kuna secrets. Kuna zile vitu zenye ni private kwangu, sitaki kila mtu ajue. For example, I'll give you a good example. Safin, we are friends, but sijui unaishi wapi. Hiyo si ati ni secret, hiyo ni privacy. Si lazima kila mtu ajue mali unaishi. Hata ukiwa tu job with your colleagues, it's not a must everyone knows where you're living or whether you're married or not, whether you have kids. You just decide to put your life private. Kuna zile vitu kwa relationship unaweza weka private because if you tell this someone, you're just trying to protect them. Probably akijua, they will change their mind about you, and it's not even a bad thing, but probably hapendi vitu fulani, so atashindwa, you know, like maybe kuna career ulikuwa unafanya na maybe yeye aji-associate na hiyo career, atajiambia tu by the way mimi si dealing na say una get. I'm just giving examples. So if I decide to keep that private and I know it won't catch up with me, why do I have to tell this person? Na acha nikwambie, we are human beings, we judge. Safin, we judge. Hata mimi mtu akiniambia kitu, hata kama sita kushow hapa live, of course kuna kitu itakuwa ina run through my mind. Kama saizi tu Bobby amesema the first thing unafaa kumuuliza, am I in a relationship? So saizi whatever is running through my mind, like, hey, Bobby ako kwa relationship na hajaniambia aje sasa, una get? So we are human beings, and I think whatever I decide to keep private does not necessarily mean it's a secret kwa boy wangu, una get? Si ati ni secret, nimedecide tu hii information wacha tu nikae na wacha tu nijieke kwa sababu hata ni judge, yani human being manze anaweza decide kuni judge.
But what if your information itamsaidia kukuelewa vizuri? You see, there are things we went through in the past. Hata some breakups, how you broke up with somebody kitambo. Itasaidia huyu mtu asai kujua, by the way, msichana ashai deal na issue. Maybe she is sensitive about a particular issue because based on Kenya ashawai pitia. Maybe this question she's asking zinatokana na the things she has shared with me about what she went through in her previous relationship. What if tukiangalia in that direction, you know, wouldn't it help akue a better person?
Leo nikwe CJ. You know how, okay, personally mimi, Unajua me, I support women 100%. So if I'm speaking from the girl side only. So I feel like, no, let me not judge them. Let me not say generally. Let me say myself personally. I feel like if you can't be yourself around me, then there's a discussion that needs to be had in that moment. And I'm not necessarily going to take it as accusatory to my partner, like, venye tu QT me explain, naielewa kabisa, because anyway, these things, maybe tu hatujafika hapo. Maybe as we go on, as we continue, as years go by, it might come up. The problem is if it comes up when it's like, issue, why didn't you tell me in the beginning? Because you also need to allow people to make their decisions whether they still want to be with you. You can't keep secrets because you're scared they leave you or because they'll judge you. You know why? Because it will come up. At some point in the future, it will always come up. Utajitetea aje saa hizo. Now, maybe that will be more heartbreaking to them that you were able to keep this away from them for so long. And especially if it was a significant issue in the relationship. Let me give an example kama hiyo ya career. Kuna watu wenyewe haezi jiassociate na maybe something you used to do in the past. Na hapo hakuna, but you love them and you want this relationship to work. And you feel like if you disclose, it ruins everything. But then how does it make you feel as a person who's hiding something that you know would change the decision of your partner?
Good question.
And if it were done the other way around, die like ile enyewe na kuacha. Niki find out yo kitu na kuacha. Haimata nini yafanyika na kuacha. But they don't do it to you. They just let you stay. 3 kids later, 15 years, munaendelea na love.
You una discover.
You guys might not break up, but you see it scars you guys in some way. It breaks trust, it shakes the relationship. So while I would say that I agree on privacy and secrecy, I think if something is fundamental in the relationship, fundamental in that it can actually change the whole trajectory of the relationship, it can make that person not want to be in the relationship with you, it's something that should come up. But then it should come up with time. Si ati day one tumepatana cheki buda. Mimi nilikuwa nafanya hii na hii na sasa hivi niko huko na ex wangu alifanya hii na hii.
Ama nimekuwa na ma ex.
It's just in your conversations. Things come up as you go. Some things might not come up in the first year, might come up in the second year. Na wacha nikwambie mtu wako ni mtu wako. Hakuna kitu ita change mind yake. Kama ame decide anakutaka na anataka ku work on this, it's the same way with you. You don't want to let them go. They probably feel the same way. If someone is yours and they want to be with you, then you're definitely going to work it out. So, relationships as quizzes ziko na like tension mob, issues mob, my issues mob, because people are not ready to be vulnerable. People are not willing to come as themselves. People are hiding so much because of fear of abandonment, fear of rejection. And all those fears are very, very normal, even in very healthy, secure relationships. But like I said, something I keep learning in real time, if you guys want it to work, it'll work. Hata hizo secrets, hizo nini, ziki come up, imagine mtadiscuss. Na kama ilikuwa msikwe pamoja, si ni afadhali mtu aweze kujimikia decision yake early on than muendele for so long and then it comes up and it shakes the trust within the relationship. That's how I feel. I just feel like people should be able to show up as themselves. And if something is making you feel like you need to hold back, and this is normal, it happens even in friendships. Kuna tu ule friend huwezi sema vitu around. Kuna ule friend uko na plans, maybe unaenda majuu, huwezi mwambia visa imetokea, unangoja kwanza. Na si ati si friend yako ama haumtrust. Ni venye tu vitu zingine ni private enyewe. How feel mmefika hiyo stage ya kusema. Na kuna ule friend ulipigia wa first. Hata before umekizo plans.
Hata ukishuku tu kuna deal inaweza iva.
Unamshow. Kwa sababu unajua, pali mmefikishana, hiyo ni conversation mnaweza have. And it's not necessarily ati you're hiding it from other people or nini. It's just the way you gauge your relationships. There's things even you don't tell your mom before they materialize. There's things you don't even tell your dad. Does it mean you're a horrible kid because you keep secrets? It just means unapima rada, unasoma rada uone. Tumefika hapo pali tunaweza ambiana.
But hapa tunaongea kuhusu zile secrets zenye umeamua that hii nitapeleka kwa grave. Hii sitawahi sema. Achana na hiyo ya kupima ati tuko wapi. Hiyo I understand because we are talking about stages. Nakumbuka tukianza I said we are talking about those who are married. Hiyo inamaanisha mshafika huko, mko committed, you're one. Kuna wale wajawana but they are in a committed relationship. Then kuna wale bado wanaanza kuelewana, hata wajui relationship ni friendship ni nini,
talking stage.
Wako hapo. So unaweza amua hiyo stage useme kitambo nielewe tu, let me try and keep some things. Lakini I'm talking about secrets zile zenye mshakuwa kwa committed relationship. Maybe you guys are married. Maybe you are in a very serious committed relationship leading to something, you know, like marriage. But you have deliberately decided that mtu atawaijua. And then you're using this the justification that it is for the sake of protecting the relationship. And that's why we are asking you out there, kama kuna kitu ama ushaijipata kwa hiyo situation whereby you're keeping a certain secret and you're saying this one I'm keeping for the sake of protecting this relationship. Please share with us why, share with us your experiences, share with us your thoughts, and whether that has worked for you so far, we'd like to hear that. But Cutie, what do you think? Umeamua.
I feel like it's already a barrier. Nikianza kuambia mtu kila kitu, it's already a barrier. Like, already naekea mtu barriers. Cheki, kuna hii story, kuna A, kuna B, kuna C, kuna D. Si lazima nikwambie everything in this life. As much as you're my partner, we are getting married, we're getting into a relationship. As I said earlier, as long as I feel like it's not going to affect my relationship. Kama hiyo example tumepeana, si lazima ujue my ex wangu ni wagani na ni wangapi. How is that helping us in our marriage? Haitusaidii kwa marriage. Unless...
By the way, unaweza kosa kuniambia
hata nikwambie Safin.
Only for me to discover ni mtu by the way.
Safin, too much information.
Hata niweza kuwa boss wa huyo msee.
Hiyo ni TMI, sister. Hata nikwambie vitu,
your ex is my boss.
Inakusaidia na nini kwa marriage? Hizo ni vitu zenye that's being petty. Tushaoana. We are already in it. Career za past ndio ngori zaidi.
Nafikiria nilimnyang'anya mtu, you know.
Ngwambie Safin, inatago too much information. Na the minute umeanza kuambia huyu mtu ati ex wangu ni kuzo yako, sasa hapo ndio shida. Yani already hiyo ni barrier. Cheki, hiyo wataenda kusotuko ukiwa na ume. Hiyo ni shauri yao, hizo ni issues zao. They'll go sort it out. But whatever it is that I actually did in my past, and that's why I keep on saying, you don't need to share your past with your current boyfriend or your marriage. Because acha nikushow, sisi wote, wanasemaga every saint has a past, right? Kila mtu akona past yake, na past yako haifai kwanza kukudefine in any kind of way. Unaweza kama mwambie mtu kitu kuhusu your past thinking ati they will like you for who you are. Unaona venye tunasemanga ati they are going to love me for who I am. I've told them everything, my friend. Hapo ndio hiyo relationship huwa inaishia. Yani huyo msi hata maybe alikuwa aenda kufanyia ratio next week. Hiyo nini inaishianga hapo na hapo.
Relationship kama hatujuani.
Siwezi kuambia kila kitu.
Ati vitu tulifanya kitambo tuachane, tuanze fresh.
I can't. No. Tunaanza fresh. Cheki, this is a clean slate. We are starting on a clean slate. Safina, kuna venye utaniambia nenda kuambia boyfriend ya mama mwenye anataka kunimari ati nenda. I can promise you Safin, hata tukakaa chini saizi na wazazi wetu, kuna vitu zenye wanaweza tuambia zenye your best friend is my ex, ndiye asimweke akuwe best man kwa harusi. Inatusaidia na nini? Hata akikuja akuwe best man hapo, chekisha hapo. Hii imeenda Safin. So whether or not atakuwa hapo kwa hiyo wedo or not, hii ishaenda, tunaanza on a clean slate. Kama it did not work out with that other person, this is the clean slate for me. And that is why I'm saying even our parents right now, if they were being honest with us, kuna vitu mob niko sure budangu ajaiambia madhi na madhi ajaiambia mzai. Unaget, kuna zile vitu tu zenye unadisaidigi, you know what, acha tu nikae nazo. But vitu kama terminal diseases, unajua ndio maana nasema kuna vitu kama addictions, those ones you have to tell someone because it's going to affect our relationship. Hiyo ni asai, inaenda kutu affect sai. Unaget, you can't stay with something and unajua kuna zenye zitaka mkulipuka. Like uwezi ficha kitu kama ugonjwa. Unaget, like hiyo itaka mtu kujulikana, you know, if you're going through something. But kuna vitu zenye neza amua, hapana, inayo siwezi mwambia. Juu nikimwambia atani judge. Na venye nimesema, we are all human. Hata mimi mwenyewe, unajudging hata mabeste wako unawajudgingi Safin. Tukwe tu realistic. So at the end of the day, you need to protect your relationship. I am protecting you.
That's being selfish.
What you don't know will not kill you. Safin, kitu enye haujui, mbona inakusumbua wae?
Protecting that relationship.
Pilipili usio ila ya kuashia nini Safin?
Interests. you're protecting your interest kwa hiyo relationship.
Safin, sikia nikwambie, yani na kuprotect wewe, cause ukijua hii information itakuhurt, na sitaki ukue hurt Safin. I don't want you to be hurt, sitaki ukue na stress. Let me take a painkiller for my own headache. Sitaki tukunye dawa na wewe, take it is my own headache. Let me just take this painkiller for my own headache. But me telling you might actually affect you mentally, emotionally, financially, unaget spiritually. So mbona nikuambie hizi vitu zote, nianze kukupatia stress zenye ufai kukua nazo. Si tuanze tu on a clean slate. Juu nimekumit saizi Safin, haufai kuwa na concern about vitu zili happen 10 years ago. Vitu zili happen ya 10 years ago. Why do you want to know about my past? How is my past helping us in this relationship? Hata mimi sitaki kujua. Unacheki pia wewe, hizo vitu zako za 10 years ago. Imagine I do not want to know. I want to know you right now. Wacha nikujue saizi, ndio nikiona kitu I will ask. Let me ask you, but do not provide information just like that. Atumeka tu hivi chini, by the way unajua some 10 years ago kuna ngori fulani ili happen. Why you go do that?
Kuna mababy mama watatu.
Nimesema that is why nimesema unajua huwezi ficha mtoi. Kuna vitu huwezi ficha. Yeah? Mtoi nayo. Mtoi hautaficha, hiyo itakamtu kulipuka. That's why nimesema kuna privacy na kuna secrecy. So ni wewe decide mtoi hatutaficha. Nimesema vitu kama addiction, maybe sickness. Of course mtoto utaficha Safin, ama marriage yenye ulikuwa nayo 10 years ago, because huyu wife anaweza kama sema bedhe tulipatanga twins some 10 years ago ndio wako 10 years. So there's some things you might decide. So wewe mwenyewe kaa chini ujiite meeting analyze, inayo nitamwambia, inayo siwezi mwambia. What I'm just trying to say is don't say 100%. Sema 50, jieke 50. Saizi kila mtu as humans, kila mtu anakuanga na secret. Hakuna mtu mwenye hana secret kwa hii dunia. Kiukweli tu wako na secrets zako, Bobby ako na zake, mimi niko na zangu. Uwezi sema ati mtu wako anajua everything about you or your mom knows. Hata mimi babangu kuna vitu nasemanga hapa anakuwa surprise, anasema la siku anajua. I didn't know that about my daughter. So what I'm trying to say is there are some things that are really really private and close to the heart, and I feel like maybe nitakwambia some 10 tukae kwa hii marriage kwanza, tukae kaa 10 years nataka mkuambia vitu zingine, but for now nikwambia alafu tena tuachane. Sasa nitakuwa nimejisaidaje nikushoa alafu tuachane? Ndio nakushoaje
kusema juu unaogopa kuacha. Unajua ukifungua hiyo
na kuprotect wewe, cheki na kuprotect wewe Safin. You as my man, I am actually protecting you. Nasitaki ukwe na headache mingi, nataka tu ukwe in a peaceful mind. Unajua
Robert, what if it was the other way around? And here I want us to talk about how women interpret that openness, that disclosure, and how men interpret it. I wish we had a man here, but there's a way si we interpret mtu kukuwa vulnerable na wewe kukuambia hizo vitu. You know, what if it was the coin was flipped? Unasema ati utaki kujua what happened in the past. What if you discover things about that person? You know, people say sometimes it's safer for women to keep secrets than hao wanaume, tuseme ukweli.
Mimi niko hiyo hill. Ndio maana na agree na QT, lakini
nilifanya
because na support tu hiyo gender yetu peke yake. Lakini hiyo nimesema mnifuate Instagram ndio wa explain ya huko more. But I completely get what QT is saying, because vitu important zenye zita impact relationship, hiyo ni definitely important. Kuna vitu tu huwezi ficha, lakini kuna vitu zenye zinaweza kuwa irrelevant until they need to come up. So the difference maybe I can say is the intention. Kuna hiyo intention ya intentionality ya hii sitaiambia mtu na sitawahi sema na sitasema hata nini fanyike. Na kuna ile ya I didn't see the need for it to come up because it literally doesn't matter. It's not affecting the relationship. It might be a secret I have, but I don't think we move around life thinking about our secrets obsessively like I have a secret I'll never tell Safin. No, it's just it's never come up. So it'll come up one day maybe.
Na mtajua vile mtacross your bridge.
And I'm a very big advocate for communication and honesty, and especially for us women, because that's how we bond. With us we've been socialized to be able to show up very vulnerable. It's easier for us. It's not like the way it is for the men. And that's why I say that when you're in a secure relationship, you'll just feel it. Hakutakuwa na hizi
secrets,
back and forth mingi. Hata secrets zikikuwa, they'll be handled very securely. They'll be handled very healthily, very maturely. Haitakuwa tisani vita. Haukuniambia hiyo kitu ya 10 years ago. Itakuwa tu like why, like maybe I could approach you with like, why, what made you feel unsafe to be able to let me know 1, 2, 3. How can we move past 1, 2, 3? Is this something we're still willing to discuss? Is this something that we're willing to work on? Ama nimejam kabisa, umeni betray, hiyo imeisha. So it's just about communicating with each other, being able to hold space for each other, giving each other grace. Venye tu QT amesema, sisi wote we have our own things that we're doing that zina happen kwa life yetu. Na vitu hazitatokea the first day, hazitatokea hata maybe the first year of marriage, maybe hata hazitatokea the first 10 years. But when the need arises, something might come up like, oh yeah, I remembered, I did this when I was nini. It might not change the trajectory of the relationship, and it also might. So I guess it's just about how you handle your relationship, how you guys maneuver with each other. But in secure relationships, I'm just finding it, vitu mingi sana ni an issue. Like you're not ready to tell me, I respect your privacy. You're not ready to talk about it,
yes,
I'm able to understand. And this is not just one way. It goes both ways. Why? Because people are able to hold space for each other. Kuna
That you can comfortably tell your partner that I don't feel comfortable talking about it now.
And it should
and
never.
They respect that.
Yes. Na hiyo ifai kukua grounds for a fight or a breakup. Why? Because we're trying to make a relationship. We're not, because most times when people are fighting, they're fighting each other instead of like fighting the issue. You should be tackling, why is it, Safin, that you don't feel safe enough to tell me this? Why weren't you able to bring it up? And is there other things that you've also been hiding? Is there, I should also be, si upenda ku blame the other person before kuangalia sisi, like Mimi, QT, in our friendship, do I hold space for you to be able to come to me? When we're hanging out, do you feel safe enough to tell me things? Because if you don't feel safe, then something is wrong. Maybe ni mimi venye mi umwongelesha hapendi. Ama maybe mi ni mdaku, ananiambianga vitu, naenda kusema. So of course, she will keep the secret. And I can't come getting mad at her, bashing her for the fact that she keeps things away from me. It's just the dynamics of our relationships. So, your security, not only should you be able to show up and be vulnerable in your relationships, you should also be able to hold space for your partner. Make them feel like they can always come to you. It's safe for them to come and tell you. Because ukikuwa na hiyo attitude ya, usiponiambia, who's gonna come and tell you anything? Your relationship, mtashinda mmesweeping.
What I'm getting from you is that, that vulnerability, it doesn't come as a point of entitlement, that I'm entitled to you being vulnerable to me. It's a space you create.
Yes, and this is in every sort of relationship. I realize when people get into relationships, kuna na possessiveness, flani, you feel a lot of entitlement, you feel like I own you, you're my person, everything about you, I must. See, you have to remember, everyone has their autonomy. Everyone is an individual. Before we came together, you have your own things, I have my own things. It is in this decision to become a union that now we start navigating these relationships. And let me just repeat, in secure relationships, you will talk. You will have these discussions. It will always come up in a very healthy way. Sometimes hata maybe tuseme sasa kama QT venye ana feel mi siwezi ambia umse everything. Kuna mse atakupenda na mse atakamtu kwa life yako atairo hata utajua unamwambia. Exactly, kwa sababu haitatokea kama haitakuwa secret, itakuwa tu something that happened in your life that you've probably never been able to discuss, or it has never come up because nobody has ever held space for you to be able to speak about it like this lover of yours. So it's just about how your relationship is, how you guys are with each other, how you hold space for each other.
But then, wacha tutumie example. Mumesema kitu ili happen in the past, wacha ikae.
Wachana nayo.
So, maybe boy wako aliachwa juu, alicheat kwa relationship ya 8 years. Akabetray huyo msichana, ndio maana msichana alimwacha. Hajawahi mention who find out. Kakuja ukamwambia, why haven't you ever mentioned to me this and that? Akwambie, I'm not comfortable talking about it. I'm not in a space.
I'm not in a space. My mental health does not allow me.
Check him.
Safin, let me tell you.
Respect.
Acha nikwambie kitu moja,
Or you will
Safin.
demand answers.
I cannot, na vile tumesema entitlement. Tukiingia kwa hizi relationships tuko na entitlement, tuko na demands. Mbona nataka, why am I demanding? Cheki, if this guy tumemit naye saizi, maybe he cheated some 8 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe alicheat kwa hiyo relationship. Why do I want to come and define that cheating right now? Kwa nini nataka kumdefine na past yake? And that's why I'm saying maybe ni self-defense mechanism. Maybe umse hataki kukuambia past yake because you're going to use that information against them. Ile temenye tu kidogo hata no wonder ulicheat kwa huyo dem 8 years ago. You see, yani
something women do.
And that's something women we like. Yani madem tunakuanga hivi na nini na form 34A tuko na ya last year but one, yani tumechukua hiyo crown. And that is why nasema be very careful what you decide to tell someone. Sisemi usiambiane, wewe ambiana kenye unataka kuambiana, it's totally up to you, but jiulize, why am I telling this person this thing? Na nikimwambia inasaidia relationship yetu kumove mbele ama inasaidia relationship yetu kumove ama is it really necessary for them to know? All I'm trying to say is chagua what you have to tell your person. Kama unaona hii kitu itatu affect kabisa, unajua hii kitu, yani nilifanyiwa, mimi napenda kupeana example na ratio, nilifanyiwa ratio, hiyo itaku affect because at the end of the day uchali kama atataka kwenda kwenyu, kuna kwa hizo traditional lazima mrudishe ile ingine ndio uchali akuja kufanyia all these things. So all I'm trying to say is jiulize aje, hii information napatia mse inatusaidia at any point, at any particular point saizi kuna kitu inakamtusaidia nayo, are we watering our relationship or are we just making it dry? At the end of the day, ask yourself that question. Is it helping our relationship or is it going to cause a hindrance into this relationship? Once you answer that question, you will be able to know if you're supposed to share. Nimekuambia vitu zingine ni too much information. TMI, hata saa zingine unaambiaga best yako kitu unashindwa, did I really need to tell them? Because they will use that against. Na nimesema sisi wote ni human beings. Utapata mse atakuja atumie hiyo kitu against wewe. Hiyo example umetupatia, hata no wonder ulicheat 8 years ago, hata saizi unacheat. Mbona ni kujudge na hiyo kitu yenye nimekuja nayo? Mbona nisikujue afresh nijue okay fine. Umse mimi sijui kama cheat ama cheat. Na maybe akikana mimi, maybe I will make him a better person.
Do you realize we don't live in a vacuum? Do you realize that even if this person doesn't tell you those things, ama wewe usipomwambia, do you realize kutakuja tu na siku tu?
Ipo siku, unasema ipo siku.
Kuna ule tu ndege.
Ipo siku.
Kuna ule ndege ataleta something.
But Safi nikuulize tu in reality, do you want to say people don't change? Watu hubadilika na ni mienendo zao. Mimi ndakwambia kitu moja, I was never an early bird. Mimi niliwashindwa mtu anaamka 4, ni nini nasumbua huyu mtu? Why are they waking up at 4? What is the problem? Saizi mimi alarm yangu inakwanga 4. You see what I'm just trying to say, watu hubadilika. So probably someone who was dating me some 10 years ago atasema huyo dem hata nimlezi hata amkagi hata apikangi udem hata afanyangi. Saizi mimi nikiwa na umse namwamkia hiyo ngware, una get, namwamkia hiyo asubuhi, nampikia breakfast, nampasia, namfanyia probably things I never thought I would ever do in my life. So why should I get judged for me not waking up at 4 some 5 years ago? Kwa nini mnataka kunijudge na mimi ule cutie wa kitambo?
Nataka tu kujua vile ulini appreciate.
Huyu cutie wa saizi ako walk mbaya. Cheki. Hii growth by then iko saizi hata yezi badilika. So kenye hata nimepeana tu a very realistic. By this saizi mtu mwenye alikuwa ni date maybe hata some 10 years ago ako wanakuwa very surprised, wako like mazee unaamka 4 wewe, yani unaingiaga kitchen kupika, yani wewe ufanya ABCD.
Hivyo watu wakishacha ndio wanaimprove.
I think tu ni growth tu, ni process ya life. By the acha nikwambie kila mtu ako na hiyo process ya life ya growth. Roberto anatuambianga whoever she was hata akiwa kwa show, she's grown through the show. We've seen her growth. So why should I judge the Roberta that was here probably some 3 years ago? Mbona nimchukulie ka huyo Roberta? Mimi nataka huyo Roberta mwenye yako saizi, huyo mwenye nimejua saizi. I am dealing with this Roberta. I have decided this is the Roberta that I know and I'm not going to dwell on her past. So usiambie mtu TMI, it's too much information, and I think too much information ndio inakuanga deal breaker sometimes. All right. Inafanya una break up na mtu hata before muanze ashakujaja anasema udem huyu amkangi mapema.
Okay. I don't know what you guys are saying, but let's get to sample some of your feedback on social media, on SMS 22422. This is what you're saying. We have Kinywa from Tharaka Nithi, and Kinyua is saying, I think not everything should be disclosed. Things like your past relationship might ruin your family or your spouse, might be using it as a gauge, yeah? However, things like health issues, children, employment, etc. should be laid bare. Everyone should be laid bare. That's what you're saying. Vitu kama health issues, children, employment, etc. should be laid bare for everyone to know. I tried hiding my children to my prospective wife, but the secret hit me hard in my marriage. I almost lost my everything in the process. Thank you, Kinyua, for sharing. As much as this is Mose from Kisii, as much as I am concerned, I need to protect my marriage whatsoever. This is the person I want to stay with for the rest of my life. I don't need to hurt her. My past is my worst. Why should I tell her about it? We start where we met. Yes. Let her keep hers and I keep mine. If she happens to get it from my family, then so be it. Kuna huyo ndege atakuja, I say that. Honestly, yes, some secrets are too much to spit out just to hold our marriage aki. Seems like guys are agreeing. James Mwenda, you say, yes, couples should keep secrets in relationships. Amekubali. We have Doreen from Nairobi. Yes, couples should. Okay, couples should keep some secrets because when you tell the man everything, for instance, ukiwa na mpango wa kando, you can't tell the man you can even be beaten or thrown outside the house. Okay. Cecilia Kisaka from Kakamega, secrets tunaficha because we fear tutaachwa. Okay. Another one here saying, if you know that something can hurt your partner, you should keep it as a secret to prevent your marriage from falling apart. That's like people are agreeing. Sarah Pahe from Mombasa, si lazima useme kila kitu if you have to protect your relationship. Akisinipate mtu mmoja anasema watu wakwe. What are you saying? Ata if you know, tell each other everything. You will not know everything. People keep secret for self-preservation. Sio lazima ziwe bad things. Fear of losing someone because you don't know them. All right. Obaigwa Desmond, you say some secrets, sisi kama wanaume, si rahisi kuzisema, mostly to avoid breakups. Allah. Mora from Kawangware, Mora anasema kuna secrets zingine, I will die with them. My past is my past, his past is his. Marriage ni current and present. Yani 100% vote.
Ona. Yani, nakwambia aje reality.
Munaishi aje huko nje.
Hivyo ndo tunaishi
yani
Safiri.
Tunaishi na tuambiani vitu kwa marriage na kwa committed relationships. I am scared.
Hivyo ndo tunaishi Safiri, ni kubaya huko nje.
Even one person saying no, couples should be open. What happened to two shall become one?
Ulisikia wapi?
Kama mimi, like what happened? Like ni nini mnaficha? See, we are in a relationship. See, we have invested. I have left my world. Nimekuja.
Si tuanze afresh. Si tuanze tu afresh mazi. Tumemit sahi. Tuache drama mob. Hizi drama ndio zinafanya hata relationships zisiende mbele Safini. Why do you need to know about my past? Unaona watu wanasemaje? I need to protect my relationship. This man, I love him so much. Imagine nimemit saizi, nataka anioe, nataka tupate watu ine. Alafu nianze kumwambia ngori zangu alafu aniache. Wewe Safini.
Watu wamekuwa selfish.
Watu wamekuwa selfish ukweli.
You would keep secrets in the name of protecting a relationship na kenye unasema ni unaogopa kuachwa. Hiyo part ndo sielewi. Unaogopa kuachwa, I think it's more of a personal interest than the interest of.
Na pia naogopa kumhurt. Kiukweli Safini, naogopa kuhurt boy because mbona ajue past yangu. If he gets to know about this certain information, it might even disorient his thinking about women. Unaona pia inaweza disorient mind yake.
Kwani umefanya nini?
Nimekwambia sitaki kukunywa. Asikunywe painkiller yangu. Acha mimi tu nikunywe hii painkiller. Hii headache nitamsaidia tu. Yeye tu akae tu hivyo, peace of mind ajue. Be wangu ananitengenezeanga mambo nyumbani vile iko. She's a wife material, she's taking care of the kids. Mimi najua sapa iko sorted, najua watu wako sorted. Wacha tuishi tu hivyo, please. Naomba tu tuishi hivyo. Hii mambo ya past, wachana nayo kabisa. I was young and stupid. I didn't know what I was doing. And reckless. I didn't even know myself. Right now I am woke. Nimekwambia huyu cutie wa saizi ako woke, amegrow na nimse different sana na cutie wa 10 years ago. So nataka mtu experience this beauty, this growth, these good things that I'm experiencing right now.
And you have really worked on yourself.
I've really worked hard for it. So imagine mtu mwingine akujatia haribu hii relationship aseme ati ude atijua vitu za kitambo. Acha huyu mtu I experience goodness yote Safin. Sawa? Hapo tuko pamoja.
I was young and reckless.
And stupid.
I didn't know what I was doing.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Anyway, as we're about to wrap up, what would make someone, you know, fear, you know, being that open? Kuna watu wanasikianga vitu, maybe partner wao akiambia familia zao ama friends wao, ndiye anadiscover ama alikuwa anapita ka over here, kumbe mtu ana plan kununua shamba, kumbe mtu amejenga.
Inauma even.
You know,
Hiyo inauma.
Cause
what would make your partner not as he feel comfortable kukuambia this very important things? Wewe unasikianga tu kwa ma siblings wao ama babeshte zake ama tu overhear ka conversation kwa simu ndio unasikia ka transaction ni kama kana happen. How do we encourage openness? Shida inakwanga huyo msee ama the other person?
You know, most of us, we think we know how to communicate. Hata mimi nadhaningi, mimi ni pro communicator, najua communicate. Until I'm in a situation where I need to open my mouth and say my feelings, and I just cannot. Because it's not easy. It's actually not easy. It doesn't matter whether you went to school for it, ama you've been doing it for years. Some situations just happen where it's very difficult to open your mouth. And I say this because I feel like now to the question you've asked me, I think it comes about mostly because of trauma. Just the relationships we've been through, patterns, things we've been through. In past relationships, you opened up to someone completely, they betrayed you. Sasa unajiuliza sasa ndafanya venye kitu ameuliza sasa ndafanya hivyo na watu wangapi? Ndashinda tu nikiambia kila mtu na relationships inaisha. But something people need to realize about love and relationship, it's not obsessive, it's not possessive. Love is not about owning the other person. It's not about them being yours and you keeping them to yourself. Love is, even if this relationship ends, even if we break up, I love you enough to accord you respect, to accord you honesty, to give you communication. That's what love is. To me, love haina hizo bad feelings, hizo jealousy, sijui what. Hizo zote ni human nature, lakini ukiangalia kwa vitu unapenda, hata kama ni kitu material, kama gari yako, hautagongesha gari yako ati juu ni gari na gari ugongwa, alafu you know, like you take care of the things you love, you nurture them, you make sure they're safe, you take care of them, you protect them. And sometimes love means you need to stop being selfish. Not even sometimes, all the time. Love requires a lot of selflessness. From all the comments, the responses I've seen is that most of those people, they're in the relationships for the wrong reason. Sorry to say. Because I feel, mimi kama we ni beshte yangu na siezi kuambia kitu, chances are I will not hang around you. Because I'm an open book. If you sit around me 2 minutes, utajua nilizaliwa wapi, niko na pesa ngapi, nafanya. Mi uropokwa sana. So why would I want to be around people I have to hold back from? Si ni afadhali tu tusi hang out, niende tu ni hang out na wale watu wenye I feel safe enough being myself. And that's it seems like it's something so far-fetched or something that can't be done. But let me promise you, ever since I started being very intentional about what I hang around, what I consume, the people I allow around me, it just changed everything. And maybe today I'm speaking from a space of a person who I don't really have secrets. I don't think I have anything I'm hiding or something I'm secretive about, because I realized that even the things I went through, I had to go through them to become the person I am now. Today. I had to learn. I had to try those things out. So they're not really a secret. I speak about all these things on my podcast all the time, telling people, nishaifanya hii, nilifanya hii, lakini this is the lesson I learned from it. This is who I became from this. So even if I don't tell you, you'll hear it on my podcast, you see? So it's just about me accept, nimefika point, nimeji accept completely. sina kitu yote ya kuficha. Nikikwambia kitu ni betray, that has nothing to do with me. That's on you. It's you. If you decide to break up with me,
that's fine.
Cool.
And I think
because I'm not going to keep you around because I'm scared of breaking up. Because then there's nothing else. And one lie leads to another. It could not be an intentional, you're keeping a secret intentionally. But you know, you have to make other small lies to cover that secret that you're protecting.
Yeah, true.
Then it builds.
And you have to talk to all your girlfriends.
Everyone.
Script yenu ifanane.
We mwenyewe utasahau,
It's a lot of work.
So why not make your life easier by just accepting yourself, loving yourself enough, understanding that you can be vulnerable and you can show up as yourself. Then use that. Unaona hiyo feeling ya secrecy. Use that to pinpoint who you can hang around. Because if there's someone you're hanging around that you can't tell things, let them go. Because ikifanywa to you, you won't be happy about it. Yeah. You will not be as accepting. It seems like to you when you're reasoning, and this is how all liars reason. I say this because I used to be a liar. I used to lie a lot. Anytime I told a lie, it was always, I want to protect you. But in the long run, who are you really protecting? Who are you taking care of? It's just me. It's selfish because it's me who still wants you not to leave me. But at the end, it'll come up. And when it comes up, what will you really have protected in the long run?
I think what comes out of this conversation is the fact that, okay, there is a time you don't need to give too much information that is not solicited, that does not add any value to the relationship. But you have to be in a relationship where you're comfortable enough to share as much as possible about yourself when need be. Yeah? And it doesn't really matter how this person is going to take it. Because if there is need for that information to be put on the table, then it means it is important. And this person needs to understand you from a space of, okay, that was your past. That is not who you are. But it's important that I know, because now it can help us.
Thank you for letting me know.
Thank you for allowing me to, be in that space of your life. And now let's move on. And what lessons, like she was saying, you got from that particular experience that maybe you are sharing. Could be good lessons, could be bad, could be a good experience, could be a bad experience, could be maybe somebody wronged you, could be you are the one who wronged someone, and the relationship demanded that you share that information with your partner, but you learned from it, you grew, you became better, and this person needs to understand that. I think that's what, is coming out for me from this conversation. But then there's a question I asked, and I also want to hear your thought. What would make your partner distance themselves from you and from sharing those very important, issues with you as a person? Let's talk to people who probably are feeling like they've been left out. Pengine kuna kitu wewe huwa unafanya ndio inafanya huyu mtu haiwezi kukutrust, haiwezi kuja kuambia hizi vitu kierere, utakaza vitu haraka na bado hazijaiva. Like, let's talk about those and how do we encourage that openness, because tulisema it is not a demand that you're entitled to, that your partner becomes vulnerable and open to you. It's something you build. So how do you build it?
But as you said, Safin, if you're with someone in a relationship, you should be able to talk to them. Kama una feel comfortable, as Bobby said, kuna vitu zi ukam tu. So kama unaona partner wako akona hiyo kierere, unamwambia, babe, by the way, mimi sipendi venye nikikwambia kitu, unakimbiaga kuambia sister yako, unaambia mother yako, unaambia brother yako, familia yako yote inakaa inajua, unamwambia to learn ku keep secrets zetu kwa hii familia. Hiyo ni familia yako, but we are also a family, so please, nikikwambia kitu, tuache kushare vitu na watu kuinje, and sometimes si kupenda kwake, maybe hivyo ndio wako. So if you don't talk to them about it, una expect nani mwingine atamwambia na endo mtu wako? So you really need to be open with your partner. Tell them if you don't like something about someone, whether it's your friend, whether it's your dad, your mom, your partner, talk to them about it. If they don't change, now you can decide not to tell them, but you have to give them a chance. Lazima upatie mtu hiyo chance kwanza, umwambie wacha kufanya hivi. Asipochange your behavior, then hauna budi, unajiwekea tu hizo sasa secrets zako. But also to wrap up hii conversation, mimi naweza sema tu evaluate yourself, jiite kama mkutano, jiambie zile vitu zenye una need kuambia mtu, venye tulisema maybe health issues, previous marriages, children involved, vitu kama hizo ni vitu necessary, lazima uambie mtu. But zile too much information, mimi naweza sema wewe mwenyewe you know deep down in your heart what you need to share, and understand not everyone is mature enough. Utaambia mtu kitu na akuache immediately, una get? Not everyone is mature enough to understand your past
is it
and
that
your growth.
Better if somebody would leave you because they cannot comprehend
But I can't,
the package that comes.
I can't keep on
For me, I feel
telling
like,
everyone. Siwezi enda niambie huyu, tena niambie huyu, tena niambie huyu, tena niambie huyu. Hapana. Unaona hii mambo ya kusema ati mtu atanipenda na flow zangu na nini? Achana na yeye. Hiyo time ikifika. Safini, hiyo time ikifika. If that time comes, if I have to tell you that thing, I will tell you, and that will tell how mature you are to actually deal with me. But hii kitu ya kwenda kuambia na kila kitu unaambia kila mtu, mazee itakuramba na itakuget in trouble. Just know the difference between privacy and secrecy. Kuna vitu zenye ni private, zenye si need kukuambia at this point. Acha nitakuambia tukifika huko mbele. But for now, deal tu na mimi venye niko. Huko tutapatana mbele na tutadeal nazo huko mbele. But for now, I don't need to tell everyone everything about my life. Wacha tu nikae tu nazo. Kama zinaniua, ziniue, nitaenda nazo kwa grave. That's my headache. As I said, it's my headache, and I'm also protecting you from my past.
Me conversation imeni shock because kwanza feedback zenye watu wametuma.
Yeah.
Mimi najiuliza tunaishi wapi?
Aki ni reality. It's so sad to say, but
watu wanafaa kuwa open. People are even hiding information about maybe mpango wa kando.
Big decisions.
You know, like about children. About
children, marriage.
How do we create relationships whereby we can be open and safe to talk about everything? There's something beautiful about being in a relationship where you can be vulnerable. You can show your good side and your bad side
without fear.
Without feeling like you'll be judged, without feeling like you'll be abandoned. Like you can be yourself and swim in that relationship without... I mean, there's something beautiful about... I was reading somewhere when I was prepping for this show, they were calling it the 6th love language for women, about a man being vulnerable with. Kuna vitu wanakuambia wetu ndio unajua. It's like it's only you they get that way with.
Yeah.
It's
life.
With self. It comes back to self. You have to accept yourself. With all those, hivyo venye una expect mtu mwingine ku accept. Cutie amewaambia si kila mtu ako hivyo na si kila mtu ako na hiyo mental capacity ya ku understand vitu. So anaweza hata jitoa kwa hiyo relationship prematurely bila kuiacha grow with time. So for you to get to this point where you feel you're able to be vulnerable, it's about self. You have to accept yourself, accept all those things you've done, all those things you've been through, everything that is embarrassing, everything that you're hiding, accept that it is part of you. It is part of who you are now. If you probably hadn't done it or gone through it, aungekuwa the person you are now. And don't let it hold you back. Don't let the embarrassment or the shame of it hold you, especially if you're growing and changing. Accept ni wewe, lakini release it. Now, if you want your relationships to work, you need to be able to show up as yourself. If you feel like you need to hide things, utenda mbali sana.
All right, ladies, I know we can't conclude. By the way, your podcast umfuate uko na kwa social media as well, at Roberta Bobby. Hizo siri tulisema tutasema, maybe unaweza muuliza. If you can manage to convince her to be vulnerable with you, atakwambia at Cutie Lady Josh as well. Ukimtafuta huko, umconvince, atakwambia hizo siri.
Tupatane kwa Radio Citizen, yeah? 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. reggae.
All right. At Safina_Achieng as well on social media, at CJ Atemu in absentia, and at Safin_Achieng at Citizen TV Kenya. That's what I meant to say. Thank you so much for watching. I believe now you know how to discern what to share, but it's important to share what you think, will add value or change the trajectory of a relationship in a way. Kama inahusu your relationship, kama inahusu your mtu, it's important that you do that. My name is Safina Chengoma. Always a pleasure to do this for you. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day ahead.